Michael's interests and career life. Michael had a great interest in the Germanic folk art and playing piano. He'd like to went to auctions every week to just add some more pieces to his collection. More detailed information will be introduced later on by my teammates, so stay tuned. Next, I want to talk about his career life after he came to Renison College. He had experience of 34 years in teaching religion and culture-related courses from a fine arts direction. His religion and film course had always been a popular course among students. It is just astonishing that he could keep the enthusiasm for this course for such a long time. Below are some his book being published.
Michael Bird was born on June 6, 1941 in Belle Plaine. Belle Plaine is a small rural town in Iowa not far from Iowa City. It was a small town, and Michael Bird was quoted saying that the town was so small it would have been proud of traffic congestion. From a young age, Michael Bird had a very pugish sense of humor and enjoyed making puns. Michael always had a strong intellectual curiosity. From a very young age, Michael excelled in every aspect of his schooling. Michael has always had an incredible work ethic towards everything he has strived for. Michael Bird went on to study at the University of Iowa and pursued his undergraduate in physics. He then switched gears and got interested in cinema, art, and literature. This led him to get his PhD in religious studies under the supervision of Dr. Robert Charlemagne. Michael came to Renison College at the University of Waterloo in 1969 as a professor of religious studies and fine arts. At the age of 28, he was already married and had 2 children. Later on, he divorced his wife and fell in love with Terry Kobayashi, whom he eventually remarried. They started a family together and had 2 daughters. Michael Bird continued to teach at Renison for 34 years. Michael suddenly died in the year 2003 of heart failure, but he left a legacy of research and folk art collections that would enrich the lives of students and intellectually curious people alike.
These photographs are pieces of fracture donated by Michael Bird to the Joseph Snyder House in 1984. So the Joseph Snyder House have a huge collection of the finest pieces that have been donated by Michael Bird over the years. Unfortunately, we were not able to have access to the Joseph Snyder House Museum due to the seasonal time that they're open, but we were able to speak with one of the representatives that were in charge of the Michael Bird's collections, and she was kind enough to give us some of the pieces. Just by looking at the artwork, you get a sense of appreciation for Michael Bird's passion for folk art, and it's very interesting.
So the following 3 artwork pieces were also donated to the Joseph Snyder House by Michael Bird in 1984. As we said before, these are real photos of the artwork that were taken by a museum representative. The artwork shown in our video is just a small selection of what he donated to the Joseph Snyder House. About 60% of the pieces currently in the museum were donated by Michael Bird. Michael Bird was always interested in fine arts, especially paintings. He had great interest in local culture, especially Mennonite culture. He loved to collect various pieces of fracture from Mennonite culture, as well as other artifacts that came from the Mennonite community, many of which are currently displayed at the Joseph Snyder House. All of his paintings, or the majority of them, came from auctions. He went to auctions nearly every weekend, and that's how he collected so many of them. The style of writing shown in the images is called fracture, which is a type of calligraphy in the Latin alphabet. This term comes from the Latin word frangere, which means to break, which is also the reason that the lines of the letters are broken up in the paintings.
Michael Bird had a significant impact on his students and colleagues at Renison University College, serving as a very influential figure. As a professor of religious studies and fine arts, Michael shared his passion with those around him, enriching the lives of many. By sharing his knowledge with others, Michael had been seen as an important member in the Renison community whom many looked up to. When Michael suddenly passed away from heart failure in 2003, his kind heart and lifting spirit had been missed by many. When the East Meets West Garden officially opened outside of Renison in 2010, various architectural features served as mementos in memory of the important figures who had played key roles at the University College. 2 cedar benches located along the outskirts of the garden had been donated by Michael's mother-in-law and his students in his memory. As one walks through the garden, the rich color of cedar is bright under the sun. The boards composing the bench align perfectly like those of a boardwalk. The back of the bench has a crisscross pattern, forming 3 symmetrical X's. The lush life and various memorials contained in the garden tell a story of Renison's past and instill loving memories of Michael Bird into our hearts.